Eddie, back with another video for you guys, and today's story is about being caught for stealing from Walmart. When I was about 16 years old, I was pretty big into stealing. Stealing just kind of gave me this weird sort of satisfaction, like I was sneaky, or that I was doing something elaborate, like secretive, when in all actuality, I wasn't stealing that much, except when my buddy got in on it. And that's when him and I started stealing a lot. And our plan was to steal all of these little playing cards and then sell them to a card shop. So we'd been doing this for a couple of weeks. We racked up a bit of cards, and one day I meet him at Walmart and he brings his buddy. And I'm like, oh, whatever, third person. It's not that big of a deal. So while I'm in the store just walking around, my buddy grabs all of these cards and puts them in one area for me to grab real quick. Pretty much, he was setting it up so I could steal it. So I go over, I grab all these cards, shove them in my backpack, walk out of the door, and I specifically remember I was side by side with this one old lady and the alarms went off like usual. I didn't really care that much for the alarms going off. She kind of just looked over, was all questioned, kind of looked over at her. I was like, huh. And then she was like, oh, whatever, guess it was just a malfunction. I'm like, yeah, I guess so. And then, yeah, I walked out with a bunch of shit. I hid it in this sagebrush, and I took a picture of the sagebrush so that I would remember where it was. Then I called my buddy. I said, hey, I stole all this shit. I'm out. He says, oh, no, man, there's still some more shit. You didn't grab all of it. I'm like, look, dude, nah, like I grabbed everything you set up. Like any more than that, you and your buddy are gonna have to take that. I'm not going back. It'd be stupid. He was like, nah, man, it's all good. Me and him will make sure that you don't get caught, whatever. And for whatever reason, I did believe him. So I went back. I went into this aisle, and then all of a sudden, this scrawny dude that was my friend comes over, and this fat ass that was his friend comes over to the other end of the aisle, and they both like block me in. I told him, I was like, are you guys really gonna trap me in here and make me steal this shit? Like, this is dumb. This is really dumb. This is probably the dumbest thing you could think of. And they were like, dude, I don't care, whatever. And they told me, they're like, hey, man, I don't care. Like, you're gonna steal that shit. I'm like, whatever. I mean, I'm a thief. What am I gonna do? So I thought to myself, no big deal. I took the shit, put it in my bag while a bunch of people watched, and I thought to myself, this is the dumbest thing ever. So my buddy and his friends ran out, and before I could keep up with them, I felt somebody grab my shoulder. And that was it. I knew it that was it. I look behind me, and the dude says some shit like, hey, why don't you follow me, and all that. I'm like, not much more I could do. And so we go into the office, and he's like, so what do you have there, and all that. I'm like, well, I'm stealing cards. No reason to lie now. I've already been caught. Police come. And they're all like, yeah, we're going to let you free, but your mom needs to come over. And I'm like, fuck. Because my mom worked 20 minutes away from where I lived. And they're all like, we'll give you 30 minutes for her to come down here. And I'm like, look, dude, like, it's going to take longer than that. So I try to tell them that, but they're like, nah, dude, we're not believing you. Like, you're going to go call her, and she's going to be here in 30 minutes, or you're going to be arrested. Tell her that. So I called her up. I told her that. She freaked out. And about an hour later, she came over. At that point, I was already cooperating with the officers, so they weren't going to do much to me. I told them that I would show them where the rest of the cards are stashed. I tell them, I'm like, yeah, I got this picture right here to help me. So I go outside with these officers, I show them the picture, and I remember something. I took a picture of the sagebrush to show me exactly where I hid the stash, except for the fact that I lived in the desert. Literally everywhere was sagebrush. There was acres full of sagebrush looking the exact same way. So this officer calls for backup, and about me and 5 other officers go searching for, a couple of $100 worth of cards that I stole. But we couldn't find it. We looked for hours and we couldn't find anything, me and these 5 officers. So they let me go because they knew that I was cooperating, but my mom then grounded me for a month. But that is not the end of the story. This is going to be a several part series. One part is stealing from Walmart, which is this video. The second part of this series is going to be getting arrested for stealing from Walmart, because there's more to the story than this, of course. The third part is going to cover a crazy fight that I saw while I was in jail, and the fourth part is about a crooked officer that you don't want to miss. Until the next video.